everyone. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening Canning Recipes, a little bit of everything. It's that time. We are going to make a favorite, especially for this time of year, guys, and it is chicken soup. And I'm using the Ball book to give me some direction, but I'm not completely doubling up on the recipe. I'm just adding a little more because I want to get as many pints as I can get out of this recipe. So let me tell you what I've started with. I've started with 20 cups of chicken broth. Now originally when I made this, I made my own chicken broth, and it was very good, but it was very labor intensive and it took quite a bit of time. So right now I'm just going to use the broth that I cooked my chicken in, and also some canned broth that I picked up yesterday, and it's on sale, guys. Went to Aldi's yesterday. They had hams on sale. They still have turkeys on sale. So if you're doing this canning challenge, you might want to go see if you can find an Aldi's and stop by there and pick up some ham or some turkey. But anyway, let's get back to what I'm canning today. So I'm going to make chicken soup. I'm using the store-bought broth, and I'm hoping to get maybe about 10 pints. This recipe in the Ball book says you'll get 8 pints or 4 quarts. I'm going to do the pints. I'm hoping to get maybe 10 pints, and I bet I do. So what I've done this morning is I have 20 cups of broth in here. Again, I used the broth that I cooked in my chicken, and then I used the store-bought broth, and then I'm going to use some bouillon cubes to kind of liven it up a little bit. And I've gone ahead and cut up 2 cups of diced carrots, 2 cups of diced celery, and about 1.5 cups of diced onion. And that's what's going to make up our delicious chicken soup. Now the great thing about this is you can't really add noodles to this recipe. So what we do is we heat it up, and then we heat up noodles on the side just a little bit, and then we put it in there and continue to heat up in the soup so we can have chicken noodle soup. So let's get started here. I've got my canner already starting to heat up. I've got my jars finishing up in the dishwasher. I've got my lids back here heating up, and I've got my chicken broth here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my chicken, and I'm going to add my vegetables, and we're going to let that boil for 30 minutes. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so it ended up I had about 4 cups of chicken. So again, I got 4 cups of chicken that I just boiled this morning. I did not use any seasonings. And then I have 2 cups of carrots, 2 cups of celery, both diced, and about 1.5 cups of onions, maybe 2, kind of in between there, and about 20 cups of chicken broth. So I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and then we're going to let it simmer for about 30 minutes. So while that's coming up to a boil, I want to talk to y'all about something that I discovered this morning. So I went and checked my dog food, and we feed our dogs that Merrick chicken. They don't get a can, they get just a little bit of the can mixed with their dry, and it makes them eat right then. We don't free feed our dogs. We want them to eat at certain times of the day, and so that just helps them to gobble up their food a little bit, and we want to give them high quality food. But when I went to buy the Merrick chicken, it was $3.50 a can, guys, and our dogs go through a can a day. It's a heck of a lot of money for us right now. So what I've decided is these leg quarters that you can get at Aldi's or at Brookshire's. I've even seen them at Albertsons and Kroger's. 10 pounds for about $6 to $7. So I will be canning this up for my dogs. I will not add any seasoning. I'll just boil the chicken, and then I'll put it in the refrigerator overnight once I get finished with this, and then tomorrow I'll do a can on it. So yeah, it's pretty disgusting. So we use Pro-Plan is what we feed our animals, because we have learned over the years that if you feed your dog certain kinds of foods, then vet bills tend to follow later in their life. So we've been very conscious of what we feed our dogs. So we feed them the Purina Pro-Plan, that's hard to say, weight management. And guys, that was short. Much of last year I had a hard time finding it. I couldn't find it at Chewy. I could find it occasionally at Amazon. So luckily we had 2 or 3 bags on hand whenever we were doing that, whenever we were going through that mess, and every time I'd find a bag I would go ahead and pick it up. So and that has gone up from about $53 a bag to $70 a bag. I'm not real happy about that either, but we do have to continue to feed them a high quality dry food. And so I'll be canning up this chicken, and this will be what they'll get to kind of make them gobble up their kibble. Went to the store yesterday, Aldi's again, and a couple of things that they had on sale was the hams and the turkeys. Hams are 50% off right now, so if you can grab one, you might want to go ahead and do that. But other than that, couldn't find any heavy cream. Found some kind of off-brand, but it was like $3 for just a small bottle. $3.59 or something. Eggs were $4 a dozen at Aldi's. And let's see, milk was $3 a gallon, but it's my understanding that Kroger has it right now for 99 cents a gallon. And meats were not very good. They were very high. Let's see, meats were high. We used some of the Aldi brand stuff, so I was able to pick up like chips and stuff like that for sandwiches at a pretty good rate. But it's getting pretty scary out there. Butter was $4, over $4 a pound. I did go ahead and pick some of that up. But anyway, when you guys start seeing the sales, you need to take advantage of them, and you need to can up as much as possible. And that's what this 365 challenge is all about, is getting your meats on sale or finding a good deal, just something, and stocking up your pantry to try to hedge some of this inflation that's going on. I don't know how long it's going to go on, guys, but right now I know that everything is much more expensive. Even our trash service that we have out here, we have to have a rural trash service. When I first subscribed to it, it was like $22 a month or something, and it's jumped up to $30 a month. And of course, you all know my electricity bill is $800. I haven't got my water bill yet, but everything is just skyrocketing, and it's really putting a dent in our pocketbooks for sure. So we are very serious about this 365 challenge, and we are very serious with being cognizant of what we're canning up. And like this chicken soup, I'm hoping to get 10 pints. I bet I do. And that will be 10 ready-to-eat meals. There's another thing in the canning book that I want to try, and that's the chili. I'm going to can up a bunch of that. And these will be great for us to just put back there on the pantry and eat in a quick fix, you know, for us, but it's also good for us because we made it ourselves. So anyway, I'm getting blown away, guys, by your emails with your pictures of all of your canning that you're going on. And let me tell you something, all of you got some serious competition out there. So at the end of this video, I will go ahead and extend that that little playlist that shows your pictures and your names, or the name of your channel. I'll only use your first name. And so it's getting very exciting to see what everybody's coming up with. And so many channels are participating in this, and so many of you are participating in this. I shouldn't say so many channels. There's a couple of channels. Anyway, a lot of you are participating. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. I love seeing your pictures. Keep sending them to hbjtexas2020 at gmail.com. And let's get back to our canning over here. So we have a little bit longer to go on our chicken soup cooking here. I've got my jars ready, got my bands ready, got my lids ready, and I can't wait to see how this turns out, guys. This is going to be a great addition to our pantry and our 365 can. So when you're canning, you always want to use a stainless steel pot. You can't really use aluminum pots because there's some reaction that happens between whatever it is you're canning or you're cooking and the aluminum pan. So we had to get out the big old stainless steel stock pot, and keep that in mind, guys. We are coming up on the home stretch, guys, so I went ahead and added 3 bouillon cubes and some salt and pepper to taste. And then I'm going to let this simmer for about another 10 minutes. And this is ready to eat like right now if I wanted to. Okay, so Greg's helping me this morning, and he's going to go ahead and fill the jars. And we're going to do one at a time, guys, because we've got our canner heated up. And so we want the hot jars to go right into the hot water as soon as we get one jar done. All right, my friends, we ended up getting 9 pints of beautiful, chunky chicken soup. So we're going to bring this up to 11 pounds, and we're going to pressure cook this for 75 minutes. If you're doing quarts, then you'll need to do it for 90 minutes. But before we let it come up to pressure, I've cranked up my heat. We need to let this start steaming, and then once it starts steaming, we're going to let it steam for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to put my weight on it. We're going to bring it up to 11 pounds, and we're going to pressure can for 75 minutes. So I'll show you the finished product here when it's done. Okay guys, we're rocking and rolling. We've got it on 11 pounds. I've turned down my heat. We're going to process this for 75 minutes. And let me show you, I got 2 quarts of beautiful chicken broth that I can either put in the fridge if I'm going to eat it pretty quick, maybe in the next week, or I can freeze it. That is golden, completely golden. So let's talk about, well, I keep checking my poundage here. Let's talk about the cost of these 11 pints of chicken soup. So because I got the chicken on sale, I got carrots, celery, and the chicken broth on sale. Each of these pints are costing a little less than $1. Homemade chicken soup, guys, for a little less than $1. You cannot even buy Campbell's chicken noodle soup right now for less than $1. So that is the cost of canning your own chicken soup. Now this is one of the easiest recipes around. So if you're new to canning and you want to join this 365, I would advise you start here, or start with the hamburger meat that I canned. Now I'm going to put a link to my pork roast and my prime rib canning, because that's more a step-by-step, in-depth canning tutorial for each of you guys to look at if you're still nervous about doing this. And there you have it, guys. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? Unbelievable. So that's the wrap on this canning video. You all, guys, boy, this 365 challenge, I went and downloaded all your pictures and your comments, and so be sure and stay tuned after I finish here, and you're going to see that video roll across of all your goods that you have canned. I also have started a playlist called the 365 Challenge, Canning Challenge Food Preservation, so go check that out. I'm including Mimi Todd's videos and Alabama Preppers. And so once again, guys, this was under $1 a jar. You can't even buy cheaper soup at that, and you certainly can't buy the higher ends at that. So if I was able to have used my carrots and my celery, I would have even saved even more money. So I'll be doing that as soon as some of that starts coming in. My celery looks okay, but I need it to get a little bit bigger before I start putting it in my recipes. But anyway, that's the wrap. Thank you guys for watching us. God bless you all. More to come, and keep sending those pictures. Love you all. Take care.